using the Quick Start peyote cards for flat, even count peyote. The cards come flat and you'll need to fold it before use. Simply match the rounded corners and give it a slight crease. Now your card is ready for use. You'll notice that the bead slots have points at one end. When you're holding the card folded, you'll want the points to be facing you. Prepare your thread. I like to use Fireline, 4-pound test for all my peyote stitching. You add a stop bead by passing through a junk bead 2 times. Make sure that this bead can slide on your thread because you'll want to be able to remove it easily later. You'll notice that the card is ready for either right hand or left hand use. These little side holes are to help position the thread. Use this one if you're right-handed, this one if you're left-handed. Come in from the inside of the fold. At the front, your stop bead gets caught. Now you need to dive down this little hole on the fold and come out the first big bead slot. Draw your thread through and your stop bead gets caught there. Fold it, trap it inside, and now you're ready to stitch. We're going to follow a simple chart, but the difference with using the cards is that you're only going to use the first row beads, in this case the yellow beads. We're going to add them one at a time to the card. I'm going to pass into the first bead slot under the fold of the card. I'll show you what that looks like. And draw the thread through. This snaps the bead into the first bead slot where it's held securely. Continue to add the first row yellow beads by passing under the fold between bead slots. That completes the first row. I like to stitch from right to left, and since this is the even count turn, I can do so continuously. I simply turn the card over. Now I'm ready to add the second row of green beads. This time, instead of going through the card, I'll go back through the last yellow bead added. As you can see, the card automatically forms the beads into the up and down format required for the peyote stitch. I'll finish adding the green row. Oops. And that completes the green row. The next row is purple. I'm going to turn my card over again so I can stitch right to left. This time I'll pass back through the last green bead I added. And as you see, that puts the purple directly over the first row yellow. I'll continue adding the purple row. Through the green beads. Since I'm adding the beads one at a time, it's very difficult to pick up the wrong color. But it's also very easy to correct a mistake if one is made. I've completed the purple row. I'm going to turn my card over again. And this time I'm going to add the blue. The reason I'm adding 4 rows, at least 4 rows, before I take the card off, is that at this stage, the first and the third row could still rotate out of color order. But by adding a 4th row, I lock them into position. Normally I like to stitch maybe 6 or 10 rows before taking the card off, because that gives me a bit of beadwork to hang on to. Alright, I've completed the last blue row. As you can see, the beadwork and the chart, they match. So at this point I'll show you how to remove the beadwork from the card. You simply open it up, place your needle in that stop bead. It should pull right off. It's a nice thing about Fireline, it doesn't split the thread when you stitch. There's a fine line of thread that crosses the card right here. You simply pull that out between each bead, and it unstitches the beadwork from the card. The card is not damaged, the beadwork comes free, and it does not fall apart. Okay. You can take the card and put it aside and use it over and over again. And that's how to start flat even count peyote with the Quick Start Peyote cards. Now you can continue stitching on your beadwork. Thank you.